Hello my friends, so today we'll be doing a pretty different style video. It's an unboxing video, but today we're going to be looking at three models. You may remember in a previous video I unboxed these three engines here. Gordon, Percy, Thomas, James, and Henry, who is... his front half is right here, but his tender is somewhere in the mess back there, and I wasn't really going to dig it out. Today, I have three of these 3-pack engines that I bought at my local Walmart. First 80th anniversary merch I found in stores. We have Thomas, we have James, and we have Flying Scotsman. I think the order in which I'm going to do this will be Scotsman, James, Thomas, so we can save the big man himself for last. So, let's start with Flying Scotsman. Just discreetly take some scissors here, and off the camera, I am trying to cut open the box. I was going to do this Leokim video style and use the rubber chicken that I bought in a different video, but I seem to have misplaced it, so until I find it, I guess I'll just have to do the unboxing the normal way. Not to mention, like, why would I want to ruin this nice 80th anniversary packaging? Well, now I kind of have, because I've freaking torn it. Oh well. May as well just pull it out at this point. Hold on, I gotta put the camera down. This is actually not easy. Not as easy as you'd think. Okay, so we got the engine, instructions. As per usual, though. I'll pick that up later. But anyway, for right now, let's get this guy open. I have Gordon here so we can compare the two siblings. Because Scotsman is Gordon's brother, so we'll compare Gordon to Scotsman. I bought some new AAA batteries just so I can give these guys a run without having to cannibalize any of my other engines. Scotsman is out, tender is out, second tender is out. There we go. So let's get this guy a bit of a look. So here's Scotsman. Oh, I've never actually owned a Flying Scotsman before. Like, this is my first Flying Scotsman that I've owned. His eyes look a little wonky, but I don't know if I think they're all like that. I don't know. His smoke deflectors. Look at that great piston detail. Here's his little Scotsman nameplate. His number, 4472. Hold on, I'm trying to see if I can clear up the camera a little bit better. There we go. Here's his his first tender. His LNER tender. And here is his second tender. His water tender has a number 4472 on it. That's Flying Scotsman's real number, because Scotsman is, of course, based on a real engine. So here's Scotsman and his good old buddy, his brother, Gordon. It'll be great to have these two run together on the layout. Now, the reason I actually wanted this Scotsman so much is because I really wanted his tenders. because I plan on making a 2-scale play rail version of Flying Scotsman, and I wanted to have actual licensed Flying Scotsman tenders to use as opposed to having to custom make them. So, yeah, it'll be good to have some actual tenders for that custom. So I'll move Scotsman over here, put Gordon back in his spot, and now let's open James. Now they only had one Scotsman, they had one Thomas, and I think 4 or 5 Jameses. So James was definitely the one that was sitting on the shelf the most there. I couldn't find the 3-packs for Nia, Percy, or Gordon, meaning I don't have Percy's mail car or Gordon's express coach yet, or whatever rolling stock Nia comes with. Trying to not rip this one. Trying to just open this the traditional way. I gotta put the camera down again, because it's really hard to open these while holding a camera. Again, just throw away the instructions, put the box to the side, and here is James. Let's get him out of the package. I gotta put the camera down again, because I can't do this with only one hand. I also can't do it without ripping the nice backdrop. I really want to preserve one of these backdrops, but I can't get myself to. So, James is out. Alright, so let's start with the main man himself, James, the splendid red engine. Actually, he's not super splendid, because like I've said before, the tender engines do look a little funky in this line. But I think James is better than Gordon and Scotsman, because unlike Gordon and Scotsman, he actually benefits from the longer... He actually has a bit longer length. Like, if you put him next to Thomas, you'll see that he is a decent bit longer. They did that so they could put that little pony truck at the front, and I like that. Part of me just wants to remove this and put it on my play rail James, but I don't know if it would be to scale, because these are so much bigger. Here's this tender. It does have the same removable coal feature as Gordon. And one thing I actually wanted to test now that I have 2 of them, let me just grab this totally descript truck that is painted in this livery for no particular reason. If I put both of these in the truck, hey, now I have a pretty decent coal load. Yeah, so if you wanted to, you could just get 2 tender engines and get 2 coal loads for your troublesome trucks. Honestly, that's probably what I'll end up using these for, because I lose them so often for the engine's tenders anyway. But for right now, I will give them back to the respective engines. I probably swapped them, like I probably just put Gordon's coal and James's tender or whatever, but still, very nice tender. And it comes with this nice little tanker. I will say though, missed opportunity to include a tar tanker. because James and tar tankers is a pretty common thing. And the normal James comes with a tanker, so the normal AEG James comes with a white tanker with a with tankers too. So why not make a tar wagon? It would have matched James. It would have fit well with the show, and it would have made the pack a bit more classic. But you know, it's all right. I do like the painted running board of this one, though. That's something that the engines in the normal packs and the pack that I bought these guys in did not have, white running boards. But that's what this Thomas right here is for. We'll talk about him in a second. First, let me compare this James to the one that was in the other pack. Obviously, I think this one is more accurate to James proportionally, because this one is kind of fat. But I think they both look fine for what they're trying to portray. And just for comparison's sake, here's my James, my Play Rail James. I think you can probably see this one is the most accurate. This one is probably second. This is the least accurate because of the fat boiler, but I'll still take it. It looks alright. Mattel is at least trying with these. That is more props than I can say for the Trackmaster 2 engines. And more props than a certain person whose name starts with S and ends with Odor Productions would give it. I would take a product that tried and failed over a product that doesn't try and still failed. That doesn't try and fail. It's better to try and fail than not try at all. And I think it's kind of unfair that certain people, cough cough Soda Productions, are willing to go out of their way to bash products like this when Mattel have shown signs that they are trying with these. Now let's finish off the three that I bought today with Thomas. Once I do plan to buy Percy, Nia, and Gordon as well, but I also really want Duck. I think Duck and Scotsman were my two most anticipated purchases here. Duck because it's a duck, and a Scotsman because I never owned a Scotsman before. I gotta put the camera down again because I can't cut tape one-handed, nor can I unbox packaging one-handed. I mean, I have a camera stand. I guess I could use that, but like, it's funner to just put the camera down occasionally and cut the tape. I have to kind of pull and hope it doesn't rip. Alright. I think he's coming out. Yep, there he is. Here's Thomas and his troublesome trucks. Now let's put the camera down yet again and cut and get him out. The way I like to do it is I just grab the bottom of the package, pull the package down slightly, and the seam should break. And then when the seam breaks, you just work your way along the package until it's like this. And you can just dump it out. So, let's talk about these trucks second. We'll start with Thomas. So, here's Thomas. I like the more cheeky face on this one. Now, this is the only one that I straight up have a model of already. Hold on, never mind. So, This is the only model I straight up have a model of already. But the difference are the faces, which one is... They're basically opposites of each other. And one has a white running board. I like the white running board a lot more. Ultimately, it is basically the same Thomas. It does have this weird water effect on it. I don't fully know what that is all about. Like, if I hold it in the light, you can kind of see like the water splashes. I don't fully know what that's all about. But again, this Thomas isn't really the selling point here. I wanted this one because it gives you 2 troublesome trucks. So, fun fact about me, I actually never got the original CGI troublesome trucks that they released at the end of Trackmaster 2. I never got any of those. I did get this All Engines Go one that had a CGI-esque face, but these are the only outwardly CGI trucks I've ever gotten. So, troublesome trucks anyway. I have a crap ton of the ones with no faces, but these are the good kind. I like the coloring on these and the little rust effects. And these crate loads, these are great. I don't like the little square at the bottom. I wish they fit better in the trucks and didn't shake as much. But I like them. Here's the other one. The detailing on these is immaculate. Yeah, it looks great. These trucks alone make this Thomas pack. But then again, I really like this Thomas with a white running board. It looks great. But is this better than Play-Rail's 80th Thomas? Well, no. This one's definitely better. I like the fact that it's Railway Series based. I like the fact that it's themed around the Railway Series. And I just overall like the more stylistic choice with it. But then again, I don't think these are really that bad either. Like, I have a lot of 80th anniversary merch now. And after having so much of it, I really don't understand what some people, cough cough Soda Productions, are talking about when they say they don't like these. Like, I mean, I guess if you're really adamant that proportions have to be accurate, then I guess you wouldn't like these. But then again, proportions on Trackmaster items have never fully been accurate. Like, even Play-Rail has messed up proportions. Like, this Thomas's weight is definitely too long. And I would argue James isn't long enough. But ultimately, it doesn't matter because they put effort into these models. Like, these look like the models in the show. Some more than others, but they do. And I feel like it's wrong to knock Mattel for trying. If they didn't try, and these were just lazy cash grabs, then I would have problems with them. But they clearly are putting effort into it, and that's why I respect them for doing this. So, whenever I buy a new model, I will review it, because I want to show this line some respect. This line has gotten lots of hate from the internet, mainly from a person who I don't want to name drop specifically, Cough Soda Productions. And it's wrong. It's just, these things do not deserve the hate they receive. So, with that rant out of the way, I'm going to get batteries in the new Thomas, James, and Scotsman, and get them running on the layout. So yeah, uh, cut back in a moment. Transition shot. Woo! Oh, you like that transition? Well, I didn't because I had to set that up twice. But anyway, we cut to later in the day because I had to actually go to the store and buy batteries because I realized I couldn't find the ones I already bought. So all three engines are batteried up. Thomas works, James works, Scotsman works. Let's get them up on the layout and have a little running session. So, no cool transition for this one. Let's just jump onto the layout. Oh. Got a pile up going on off screen. There we go, fix it. Freaking James just loves having crashes. I don't know what's up with James, but he literally just caused like a 5-car pile up. Okay, so since I apparently can't trust James with anything, I'll just run him on the inside loop. Although I actually am just realizing I have to run him this way to pick up points. I'll bet you just love watching me set this up. Here we go. Oops. Well, here we go. Oh, I had a little bit of a crash there. There we go. love this setup right here. So I'm just going to keep filming here for no reason. Well, this has been 80th anniversary unboxing part 2. Or I guess 3, because we split the original one up into 2 parts. Thomas and Percy, and then Gordon, James, and Henry. Rest assured, I will be buying the 3-pack for Percy. Nia, I'll buy a duck. For sure I'll buy a duck. I will buy the single packs for most of the engines here. Thomas, I don't remember what engines have single packs. But I'll buy the 3-pack for Percy to get the better Percy, and the mail car and the brake van. I'll get Nia's, which has whatever Nia has. I do plan to get Gordon's to get the express coach. Plan on buying Trackmaster 2 duck. I really want that duck. In fact, the 2 engines I was planning on buying were Scotsman and duck, but they didn't have duck, so I just got Scotsman, and then James and Thomas, because they were there, and I thought I wanted both of them, one of each engine that was there. So, yeah. This has been 80th anniversary part 3. 3, officially. So, honestly, stay tuned for the rest of September and some of October, maybe. I should hopefully maybe have some more engines by then, because I plan on trying to go merch hunting some more in recent times. Also, I'm really sorry I didn't record a video where I found these guys in Merch Hunt. I was really busy, and and when I went to the store to buy these, I had completely forgot to record it. Not to mention my phone was freaking dying anyway, so probably wouldn't have had the storage to actually completely do a new merch hunt to find these. And either way, there wasn't too much to find in terms of Sonic stuff. It was basically just the same stuff that we always find. But, yeah. I hope this makes up for no merch hunt, because this is going to be a longer one. So, yeah. Let me know, comment question, because now we're completely ripping off Mr. MPS. Comment question. Which 80th anniversary engine interests you the most? And it doesn't just have to be an engine here. It can be one of the engines I don't have yet, like the Percy 3-pack, Duck, Nia. Which engine interests you the most? It can be one of these here, but which one interests you the most? In my eyes, I think the one that interests me the most is Flying Scotsman. Just because this model, just because it exists, just because this thing exists, baffles me. Like, he's not even a major character. In fact, he's a very tertiary character, introduced well into the CGI series run. So, the fact he's even here baffles me. But then again, we also have Nia. But then again, she's a main character now, so that she at least makes sense. Duck and Scotsman just don't make sense, but Scotsman in particular just doesn't make sense. If anyone has a reason as to why they did Scotsman other than just they wanted to reuse the tooling from Gordon. Actually, no, not even. Scotsman is an original tooling. He has different dome, different, like, the thing molded above the side tanks, and his smoke box is shorter. Like, I don't know if it's easy to notice, but, like, he's not just a Gordon repaint. He is a separate tooling. So, if anyone has any ideas as to why they even made Scotsman, let me know. But I'm glad they did, because now I have those two tenders for the custom whenever I make him. Spoiler alert, I plan to make a custom Scotsman. But anyway, yeah, I think he interests me the most of all of them. Duck would probably be the second most interesting, just because he exists as well. But then again, with all that out of the way, we are finally done with this video for now. So, sorry guys, something happened to the footage. Anyway, I guess I ended the clip by accident. Let me finish the video. So, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peep, peep. Frick you, Thomas. Screw off, Sodar Productions.